Throwing bins, cans away. It's what I do. All right, the day has come. We are gonna be taking the heads to the machine shop. We got everything we need. We got our new valve seals. We've got our 1218 springs. Did I leave the caps in there? Yeah. With our caps and retainers. Got our 799 heads. So I'm gonna take these to the machine shop. On the road again. We are on the way to the machine shop. We got about an hour to get there, so not too bad of a drive. I've already called for pricing and availability. It said it'll take right around a week, so that should work out perfect with the other stuff we have planned. So, see you guys later. We got some crazy trucks here. Look at all this cool equipment. Freaking Duramax squad. Duramax. I think there's one at the other end too. Is that one actually a Duramax or is that a 1500? That might be a 1500. Still, GMC Chevy squad. It's kind of funny. I feel like all machine shops are the same. Like they all have just tons of stuff because of, you know, leftover parts and boxes. And they're always like organized chaos. Every single machine shop I've ever been to. It's just kind of funny that it works out that way. So heads are dropped off. They said they should have them done in a week. They're gonna shoot for that. They wrote a note on it and everything. They told me to call them next week and make sure, you know. So hopefully we can get them done by then. This place has been good. I've had good experience with them in the past. They got our stuff done really quickly. So let's hope they do this time as well. Heading back home. Me and the mad scientist got to rip apart the block and replace the piston rings that aren't fried. Damn it. This is the second day that I've gone to take this apart and remembered I don't have a crank puller. I gotta go back to the store. I gotta go rent one. I broke my other one. I have one specifically for this engine and I broke it last time. Yeah, so, well, anyway, what we're doing today is taking apart this bad boy. So you guys got me thinking, and I just couldn't sleep at night without taking this thing further apart, going through the rest of it with a fine-tooth comb, replacing the rings, rehoning the cylinders, etc. It's just one of those things where we're waiting on some parts anyway. We got the time, we got the know-how, we've done it before, and we might as well do it. Last motor, when I had a 1.8 turbo in this car, I blew it up 3 times, as some of you know who've been around for a while, and it turned out to just be faulty injector wiring. But regardless, I kept throwing in used short blocks and just swapping my head over, new gaskets, throw it back in. And when I finally took the time to rebuild an engine and put it in, the motor ran way better, made better vacuum, made better oil pressure, ran cooler, like it was just all around better. So I was thinking about that, and I want to do the same thing here. I don't want to deal with potential unknown of a junkyard motor. It's not that much more work to go through it myself, so might as well go through it myself. And we've got a buddy that's gonna help us do some honing, so that should be pretty fun. So anyway, yeah, let's get to it. We need to strip it down to a bare block, basically. That is the plan for today. Pulley puller tool acquired. Okay, time to go home, get to actual work before it gets dark. Lately, I don't know what it is, man. I used to work till midnight, and now when it gets dark, I just like lose motivation. I'm like, oh, this is my chill time. It's time to relax for a little bit before I go to sleep. Okay, back to work. I saved my extra rods from my old crank pulley puller for this reason, because I knew I'd need them. You gotta use the super long Johnny for the crank pulley on a truck crank pulley. I think I got it. I think the hook's go on the inside. Yeah, I was just dumb, and I didn't realize that there's these little spots. Those little spots that the hooks grab onto. I don't think the F-body pulley has those, which is what I was used to. So this is a great sign. RTV on the crank pulley bolt. Ingenuity. Oh. So something I almost forgot to do, we need to label our pistons so we put them all back in the right spots. For the rod bearings, if we end up deciding to reuse the rod bearings, which we'll go into detail of that later. Regardless, we want to mark them, make sure that they all go back in the right spot. So 1, 3, 5, 7, and then 2, 4, 6, 8 is how it goes. Okay, good to go. Flip the rod back around. Ratchet's hanging on for dear life. Think the little guy's gonna handle it? Nope. Pistons and rods are out. They are Gen 4 rods, so everything is good there, which is awesome. Gen 4 rods are better than the Gen 3 rods. They're stronger. People obviously prefer them for boosted applications. You know, it's not really a huge concern for us since they're naturally aspirated, but it is nice to have the stronger rods for higher RPM stuff, not having to worry as much about slinging a rod. Still could happen, but we're a little better off. So yeah, all the bearings look really good. I mean, none of them have any real scoring. I mean, they all look mint. So it's honestly, it's a tough decision as to replace them or not, because it's kind of a can of worms. It's kind of if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of thing. Because when you replace them, you know, you're going from bearings that were sized to the factory crank and all the clearances and tolerances checked at the factory to, you know, throwing in one size bearing and hoping it's all right, or plastic gauging every single one and buying multiple different sets if you have different tolerances for different rods. And there's just a lot more to it than just throwing bearings in. To me, it's not about the work or the money, because it's like $50 for bearings. It's just, you know, you can make it worse, you know, if you don't do it right, or, you know, one is a little off from the other and you end up putting a undersized bearing in or something. So it is one of those things. I'm gonna think about it and I'll decide. I'm just not sure. I'm really not sure. Part of me wants to just throw new bearings in it, but then you gotta go through the break-in process, and you got, like I said, you gotta plastic gauge every one. So I don't know. We'll plastic gauge them, which is basically just a little plastic strip, and you tighten it down and it flattens it. Then you hold it up to a little piece of paper, tells you what the clearance is. So we'll do that and see if, you know, we're still in standard spec all the way across. If so, makes the decision a little simpler. So I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll do that later. But for now, all right, guys, back to work. It's late in the day. We did a Harbor Freight run. I got another cart. So this one actually has a drawer, which is sick. But anyway, I'm gonna make some radiator brackets and finish up handbrake line routing today. So radiator brackets, we just need to make something to hold the radiator. It can't go forward because there's these little cuts, but we need to make it something where it can't fall back, which it's really tight in there, but I just like the extra security. We already got rib nuts here, so basically make a little plate that bolts here and then weld it to the fan shroud. So just like secures the radiator completely. It's the plan, Stanley's.
Taylor has to buy me
You gotta say it all over again.
Come on.
I turned the camera on. I thought you were gonna ask me a question, so I was trying to finish recording.
I don't want to talk to you, dude.
What?
I just wanted to. You gotta back up, okay? I just wanted to ask everyone to go watch the asphalt scam video so we can get to 500,000. So your boy T Ray has to buy me Huddle House. I've been dying to get some Huddle House, and he refuses to go.
I offered him.
He said 500K on the video. Though.
I said
so
500K on the video. If the video gets 500K, I will buy us both
just want some Huddle House.
a fancy dinner. And he wants Huddle House for whatever reason. So, regardless, I'm gonna buy you Huddle House. We could have stopped today on the way back. Someone didn't want to.
What are you talking about? You were like, no.
I didn't say no. Put words in my mouth. Back to work. Back to work. Brackets are done. I've got to mount them. Well, actually what I got to do is draw a line, pull the fan shroud off, weld them to the fan shroud, then mount them, drill holes. That is that. Man, that was a bit more of a process than I expected. My design, I did it that way with the hook over because I was planning on bolting it on, and I was like, oh, I can just weld it, and I just kept the same idea. But when you try to fetch this up through here with that bracket, it hits the radiator hose clamp, but it also has to go like another ½ inch to get past these mounts. There was no chance of it fitting, so I cut them off. I re-welded them just as like a straight angle piece, which is much cleaner anyway. Should have just done that from the beginning. But regardless, it is done. Radiator is firmly mounted. It is not going anywhere. Shake the freaking whole car with the radiator fan. So very, very happy with the end result. All solid, accessible, removable, installable, etc. But with that, I'm gonna go ahead and end today's video. I did want to get the handbrake lines in, but it's already getting late and I don't want to rush through it just to knock it out. I don't even have the fittings for the calipers yet, so I really should wait for that anyway so I can properly, you know, how much room we have rather than trying to guesstimate where it's gonna end up at the caliper. So we're gonna hold off on that. But anyway, lots to do this weekend. I will see you guys then. Thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing. Goodbye, guys.